Yeah, Robin, sit by me.
Okay.
Then Lily next, and then Elise on the end.
Okay.
Okay, so you sit in the first chair.
Well, welcome back to Soda City Live. We're continuing our
All
theme
right.
for Women's History Month. Today is National Women and Girls HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. The goal is to address the impact of HIV in women and girls and help to reduce the stigma. Also to promote testing, prevention, and treatment. Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services, or PALS, is a local nonprofit whose purpose is to provide resources and support for everyone. Specialized outreach case manager for PALS, Audrey Moody, is joining us today to share more on what we can do to make a difference. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. We had you all on a couple weeks ago to talk about the test-a-thon. I hope everything went well with that.
It really did.
Yeah, and it's important to have events like that. And I wanted to kind of talk about why it's so important to have events like that PALS has in the community, especially for those that might be living with AIDS or HIV.
It's very important because in today's society, people are still having sex, and though sex is a hush-hush behind closed doors thing that people don't like to talk about in the opening, testing is to help prevent people from not knowing their status, and it's also to help people know their status. And so it's very important to get tested for reasons that you want to know where you stand with your health.
And you know, I'm so glad we're talking about testing, because there's some people that won't get tested. And what are the reasons what reasons have you found that people just refuse to get testing altogether?
I really believe it's a lot of fear of getting tested because a lot of people don't want to know their status. I hear a lot of people saying, I'd rather not know than to know, which is better to know your status because you can better take care of yourself. You know, back in the 80s, HIV was a death sentence. It's no longer a death sentence anymore. So our goal is to get as many people tested in the community as possible so that they can know their status and better take care of themselves.
Yeah, we're definitely in a place now where I think people have a better understanding of HIV and AIDS, because I know when the pandemic started in the early 80s, people were afraid because they didn't know what it was and they didn't really have an understanding. And the wonderful thing I love about PALS and what you all do is you make sure that you not only help and assist by providing resources, but you also provide education so that people have a better understanding. And that's for people both living with or without AIDS or HIV. So it's amazing work that you all are doing there.
Thank you.
But you're more than welcome. I also want to talk about some of the stigmas since we're talking about it. What are some of the stigmas that you want people to not associate with HIV and AIDS?
Well, one, I want to say, people who stigmatize people with HIV, you are helping them not want to get the care that they need. You know, over the years, you used to hear you can get HIV from kissing, you can get it from using the same toilet seats, using the same utensils, drinking out of glasses, and all of those are stigmas, and it's not true. That's misinformation. And I just always encourage people, if you know someone living with HIV, treat them the same way you would want to be treated. I hear a lot that HIV is the nastiest person's disease, and all those are stigmas that help keep people from getting the care that they need, help keep people from getting tested. And so we are trying to prevent that. And how do you prevent stigma? By being educated. Don't wait until it hits home to get educated and know your status. Get educated and know your status so that even if you're not positive, if you know someone that's positive, you can help educate them as well as not stigmatize them.
I love it. And Audrey, tell us how the community can help to support those that are living with this disease, and how they can support PALS in their mission to help others.
Well, I always tell people, if you know someone who is HIV positive or have not had an HIV test within the last year or 5 years and so on, encourage them to get tested. Encourage them to call PALS. We have a series of case managers that would love to talk to you. We try to keep our services confidential for our HIV clients, but we have a whole lot of other services that we offer. So coming to PALS is not just saying that you're HIV positive, and that's a part of the confidentiality of our services that we have, because we also do PrEP. We have testing services, we have behavioral health services, and so we have other services that keep the stigma away from a person saying, I'm going to PALS because I have HIV. No, you can come to PALS for several services. So if you know someone in the community, encourage them to call PALS. If they are afraid to get tested, have them to give us a call. We can, talk to them, help them get a better understanding of the importance of getting tested. And if you're in a community and you want to support PALS, you can support PALS by donating. We have a website where we take donations. We also do personal items. We have a food pantry. We have a housing service where we help people in the community who's struggling with housing. And so we have a variety of services, and we do take donations for personal items, even food pantry, canned goods. If you have canned goods or any perishable items that you don't use and it's just in your cabinet, you can donate those things to PALS as well.
Awesome, Audrey. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to put a full screen up with the details on how you can get in touch with PALS. That is where PALS is located. It's 2638 Two Notch Road, Suite 108. They actually have two suites that has happened within the past 2 years. That number on your screen and that email. Excuse me, not the email, that website on the screen. We'll have these details on our website, SodaCityLive.com. Stick with us. Much more Soda City Live coming up after the break.